Alright. Hello to another replay thingy majiggy. With you, there are players Raider. No, wrong Raider. This Raider as a red Cybern with a build order of 2 factories. And in another corner on the map, open palms, 10 by 10, is Herzer99. There's quite a possibility that this might be also a player named Explosive, as I might feature on this channel before. But yeah, let's go into this game, see how they do. Seems like opening will be factory, mechs, and then like a 2 pigeons, I presume, for Raider. With a build queue of 4 engineers, Mantis, Scout, Mantis Scout, and then another engineer. For Hazer over here, we have 4 engineers, or no, 1 engineer, Mantis, or is this a raid bot? Raid bot, Scout, and then like 3 engineers, Mantis Scout, Engineer, Mantis Scout, Engineer, Mantis Scout, and billion engineers. Alright. Seems like it's a mass extractor, 3 pigeons, 4 other mass extractors. Seems decent enough. Send Scout in the middle. For our red player, red Cybern, Raider. Seems to be following kinda similar suit, but like a delayed engineer. This is my problem with me. I didn't pay enough attention to the start, and I'm not sure how they opened. But I do know what he wants to do, and it's basically just a shitload of spam. He doesn't install an energy, which is that great, but he's gonna get raided. Oh boy. That unit is dead. He does get the scout as a payback. Oh, and maybe he gets Mantis. Nope. Loses the engineer. Immediately responds with a Mantis and a scout of his own. Chances are he's gonna send it back. We'll see. Yeah. Unit goes at the back for the potential future harasses. Not a whole lot of harassment out of Hazer. I expected a bit more with like a more aggressive opening, but maybe those units have not popped up yet. He is sending another raid with Mantis, possibly to this position here. And Raider is trying to aggressively expand back sooner than the Hazer, our blue Cybern player. Seems like he's still chasing for that unit, but I don't think he will find it. He can guess where the unit is going, but maybe he should have like hide it like here and then move afterwards. Or just do a full circle. That also works. Scout planes from both of the players. Scouting each other's bases. What's the plan? Seems like the air factory was like a third for both players. Scanning vital positions and expansions. That's all fine and good. So a lot more additional factories, a lot more power he's gonna need, so better keep both of those. 2 engineers some power. The Hazer does the same thing. Slightly delaying the power and like, but he's keeping all his mexes, all his factories like around the Hydro, while Raider over here had like additional one at the back. I think that's also one just pumping up the Mantises. And now is the pigeon line from the Hazer as well, with 2 engineers. We have a small engagement at the Hazer's ground. It looks like he's gonna be defended, but I do bet he lost like an engineer. Maybe. Let's see by the reclaim. No engineer lost. Apologize for the laggy issues. No engineer lost as of yet. He did decide to go with ACU to this side That is like hydro slightly towards this angle. 4 mexes in a factory, so this is gonna be like a expansion base, I believe. From the other side, oh, at the back we have, I guess they found out a unit, or this was another raid unit. Yeah, this is another raid unit. A second time to raid like this path. He should honestly maybe keep like these units at the back, so we can get the engineer here safely. Maybe this engineers or someone else. But his gameplay, his decisions. There's a quite substantial army for the middle, and he can definitely go and like do some annoyance in the middle. No radar from either of players. I guess the radar is too early to get at this stage. And radar is moving aggressively with ACU, looking to gain the ground. This is kind of a vulnerable position to be in, since especially you have cut off from your reinforcements here and here. He is thus trying to secure like his ACU aggressive expansion with a PD after he grabs all 4 mexes. But Herzer decides to kind of play it safe for the most part. He is pretty aggressive with the units, but he keeps ACU at the back. He might move with ACU a bit after he grabs all of like this and secures it. He should start moving right about now towards the Raiders expansion. Map is pretty split. Both the plebs are in the same economic value. Oh, it seems like Raider is having like some minor lead, 27 to 37 mass income. In the energy, they're like very similar. 460 for both players, respectively. Some pretty nice raid from behind. Didn't caught the engineer though. Engineer is still safe. So yeah, there is that. Not priority in getting the reclaim here. While Raider does get like most of the reclaim. Still, at the back, plenty of reclaim to get as well. You should always get it. Reclaim very useful, very powerful tool. And it seems like Raider actually did completely win over the base, but he decides to not build a factory in this position. So what does he want to do from this position? Also, his friendly side, like more easable, accessible side for expansion, is untaken yet. Doesn't really bother to aggressively take it. I presume no T2 for either of players. No one is actually bothering to upgrade. Oh, he's reinforcing the spam actually. The spam of the units. Yeah, both players decide to keep it on T1. He builds the radar from this side to probably to monitor the aggression. And he moves the ACU towards, well, mostly for the reclaims for now. There's a bit kind of major fight in the middle, and oh, seems like Herzer is in the very awkward position, stuck between like a reinforcement army and like the big chunk of army itself, which can easily take down. Also, there's a line of radars as he slowly like expands itself. I guess not too bad of idea, better than investing in T2 radar at this stage, since energy cannot be spared at this point in time. This base at the back was successfully raided, and it seems like it's gonna get raided at once more. That's why like the mass income is kinda samey for both players, but Herzer grabs the high ground, which is very nice of him. He really is now getting a ton of reclaim value out of these. Maybe he should build like a factory and like reinforce it with more engineers. It's kind of unsafe to do that, but all the same. But that means he has a transport somewhere on the map. Was it shut down? I will have no bloody clue. For no artillery from either player. No, actually, artillery was built by Herzer. He has some choke point advantages there. Not much, but he still has some. When I'm playing Siren, I usually prefer going with full-on mantises as long as possible, so I can maintain the army composure better and for longer. And some nice raid on engineers. That's a build power lost here. Are they using all their mass? Oh, he's actually energy stalling. He needs more energy. He's working on it, but not a high enough rate. Should really move these engineers out of the air factory for the time being. And actually, Herzer is even floating on quite a bit of mass, so does that mean like more T2? Yeah, more T2. More T2 mexes and possibly a T2 factory. Yeah, he already has it. Rocket bots on the way already. Not less ideal of how I want to do it, but works. It works. Some pretty nice raid on the backside mexes from the Raiders base. Idle factory, but that's nothing to be concerned about. He has like plenty of engineers reclaiming. That's additional mass power that he's getting. A big raiding coming as well while it's fighting going on in the middle, but rocket bots make all the difference, and he sees it. He pulls back. He should probably pull back with these units as well. I don't think this is good commitment out of red player, and here is getting quite like a really good engagement. And there is a point defense as a protection ground. I'm surprised he didn't try to overtake this position a bit more aggressively. Seems like he Raider edge builds it on the high ground to get more engineers and start reclaiming with an attack move out of factory for the extra range. Not worrying hard to getting those mexes, unfortunately so. Idle ACU, open for TML possibly, but I don't think that's. Seems like Raider has already T2. Well, already he's a bit behind Herzer, but still T2 going for T2 PGen. He's probably massively stalling energy. Oh no, not even a little bit. He's doing quite fine with energy. Though I don't think it's gonna build without like some energy stallage. Solid engagement here, but will no bounce with artillery from Herzer, unfortunately. And T2 energy from the Herzer with a lot of T1 assist. Now he has power for days. This might mean like we're gonna start seeing bigger units and more T2 factories on their way. In fact, actually, Herzer already has like 3 T2 factories with HQ, of course. And Raider is now getting on board with those T2 factories, so he's gonna start catching up, mostly with rocket bots. Even though Herzer already has rhinos, but it's up against ACU. I don't believe ACU has overcharge, not that I can see it at this given moment. And these raids are behind, they're pretty brutal. Nice T2 radar. I would put it more up front, maybe even like ledge it here. For the extra shenanigans. Extra vision, I mean to say. This is a quite good army here, but no artillery, and he cannot really dive into this PD. And ACU does seems to have like a gun and a cloak, so he can start shooting from way back and not reveal itself, hopefully, but it's revealing itself. Never mind. Does Raider has any gun upgrades? Nope, not even a bit. But he's starting the poke on its own expansion. He might actually lose this over time. Seems like reinforcements is getting like attacked, to say the least. Does slightly looks in the Blues' favor since he seems to be more on top of the things that are going on. Rhino can take quite a beating before it goes down. It took so long to kill him, even with all this firepower. Oh, a dive in from the Herzer's ACU. Oh, that could have been devastating for him. Missed opportunity, I would say. Even if you damage the ACU pretty brutally, like you will have to force it back, and like that's like a way to suspend the ACU out of fight for like quite a while till he regions up. And since Cyber and ACUs don't have regen capabilities, well, not like a nano repair or anything of that sort, it's pretty difficult to get back in a fight with the ACU later on in the game, especially as the game goes on. Seems like a tier 3 is like done for Raider, and he's immediately spamming loyalists. That's a pretty ballsy. He did let a bit of the map control, especially for his like ACU expansion that he did early in the game, and he might actually lose the left side, but it has a pretty good reinforcements, but the ACU is kind of in the way, so now he seems like he's gonna preserve it. He's reinforcing it even further with like additional T2 and Tier 3 units. Maybe he should have waited till Loyalists came up and then like start attacking. But this might be even over for our blue player. I would not necessarily attack into overcharge. Oh, no, he seems like he doesn't want that either. He should maybe pull them more behind on this position. That's a big chunk of the army, and that's a lot of reclaim now here. About 4,000 reclaim, give or take. Also pretty huge amount of dead units here, so that's like another 2,000. That's all for taking, which I think he will gladly exploit. TMD protection against like TML strikes. Maybe I would put like one other TMD here. Especially one near ACU. Doesn't seem like they are forcing it down. But Herzer is forced to go tier 3 after revealing of units. Ooh, this might be pretty grim. He read it. Extra HP. Though I will really go focus like on his base rather than going after his ACU. Seems like a more safe decision. Like this army and his base will do quite the damage. And it seems like the red player actually lost the expansion to a bunch of rhinos. I guess there was a combination of other units, but blue's units definitely outweighed the red units. And this is pretty good hit on our red player. He did finally manage to secure the back base, but compared to the, well, yeah, it's kind of difficult to when you even still have to invest into additional PDs. to further protect it and solidify it. A lot of engineers here. Seems like they mostly reclaim everything. But this is slightly too much engineers. You don't really need that much up here. 3 or 4 are enough. I wonder what happened with engineers here. I don't think they got reclaimed or anything. No, they got destroyed, but that's fine. No tactical missiles are being built. I guess because that's no players are building T2 point defense. Though maybe like couple tactical missiles to attack like this and this will be like really nice addition. Also a lot of reclaim here. 3,000. That's a lot. Wanna get that boy. Hit on the Hydra, but I don't think this matters anymore since Herzer is more than set on energy. It seems like he is gonna lose like this portion of the map. And Deceiver is hiding what is actually like here. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be lost, but on the other side, a lot of rhinos are hitting the Dale field. Rhinos is a pretty good unit for what it does. And it's like a low to medium DPS, pretty reasonable movement speed, and like tons of HP. Not as much as a pillar, but it does more damage than a pillar. Yeah, that's not gonna kill the ACU. Seems like this ACU has no intention of overcharging. Oh, another wet saves the day. Bricks coming in hot. That was very close. And Crosshairs are even like coming in to help and assist. That's a lot of reclaim that he just left behind. A reclaim that he didn't want to leave behind. Well, it's actually Crosshairs killed most of the reclaim. Still though, that's not something he wanted. Looks like Herzer didn't reclaim any of this, like at all. I wonder if Bomber like cleaned this up. Seems like there's like some minor pause, so that means maybe experimental is coming up from one of the players. Oh, he's killed all his T1 factories. He's gonna go full transition to tier 3, I suppose. This one was T2 actually. I guess like he wants to fully switch into tier 3. Yeah, there's a tier 3 factory supporting one. And does suppose they want to do? Oh, he's building another transport. Are we gonna see some transport shenanigans with bricks dropping in hot? That's a lot of bricks actually. 5 of them is pretty huge at this stage of the game. This can easily turn the tide of the game. I feel like he's more focusing on capturing the Mexes rather than focusing on reclaim. Not to know what to make of it, but still. He has a radar. You can see. This is a very progressive radar build. Slowly expanding the vision. Ooh, Loyalists are gonna absolutely crush this army. And accompanying that with rocket bots. I do think he's building too many rocket bots. He should kind of move to the Rhino production at this stage. Just having pure rocket bots, it's a high burst of damage, but it can be dodged. And if you have too many of them, like, you can dodge them all at once. Now 5 bricks doing their work. So I think he's gonna lose it. Rocket bots are gonna do the work, since Loyal stunned them and Rocket Boss get like a really nice hit off on the unit. It does seem like it's a tie, maybe. Most of the air dominance for now goes to the Raider, but Herzer definitely has like plenty of gunships and air. Oh no, that's a suicide. That's a suicide, bruh. You don't want to do that. That's a poor engagement. Well, now the Herzer has the air dominance lead. I guess it was a bad micro. Tier 3 mechs from Raider. I don't see sign. Oh, there is another one upgrading slowly, unassisted. And Herzer is now upgrading his one. Possibly that he scouted it. Also using crosshairs to additionally harass the Nexus and everything else. Yeah, that's probably a smart attack on the... and the gunships, actually. These gunships are doing quite a lot of work, and the crosshairs. This is kind of bad for his side. He's definitely losing it. That's a lot of PDs. This many PDs does not make it worth it to reclaim all of this if you're gonna build this much. And he upgraded this here to T2, so maybe it's worth it for him, but like I would still not recommend it. Better like build 2 T2 PDs or something like that. These gunships are still not dead. That's amazing, actually. This one interceptor is trying really hard, but like it's not hard enough, I guess. Is he looking into upgrading his... Nope. He's building SAMs instead. He decides to like not invest in air at all and just goes completely for the... interesting. Interesting indeed. 4, 5 bricks versus 3 bricks. I guess 5 bricks wins. Yeah, that's pretty hard to kill. So the additional reinforcements, this is gonna be enough bricks to kill the bricks. Well, now it's gonna mostly be a brick game, I see. Q3 Pigeon, I guess like that's a move for experimental, I suppose. He's not in further going into tier 3 mexes. This slow upgrade is actually kind of paying off, but like he's losing a lot like outside of his base. A bit unfortunate. Still producing massively T1 engineers for the reclaim power. Not sure if I would like keep that up at this point of the game, but still. Oh, this is very close position to build this. It seems like Herzer's reinforcements just kind of crushes the reinforcements of the Raider. That's kind of unfortunate, and can even keep up the same game at his own base. This is not looking good for Raider. He's slowly losing the grip on the map. Also, T1 bombers doing some work. Nothing too crucial yet. They're all gonna die. Looks like he decided to target the PD out of all things. This is definitely not looking that good for Raider. This might be like it might be because like this power is like building. That's possibly that. Still though. really hard for him to reinforce the units, and these engineers are reclaiming all the time. Now this is a lot of masses that Hazer is getting. And these bricks are Raider is finally now reinforcing his like a losing side, and maybe he's finally gonna start pushing back on the units. He lost the upper ground base as well. For now though, seems like he is getting work on it, and is gonna successfully, well, depends on what you mean successfully, but like he did got it all, but now his left side is gonna start suffering and gonna start taking hits. With the Seabird, this might actually be easier to defend. Still though, that's a lot of bricks. That's a lot of HP you need to chew through. Is there experimental on the way? Perhaps. Not exactly. Just bricks. Just bricks. Engineering factory got destroyed. Reclaim now in position. 20,000 reclaim. That's a lot, if I say so myself. From this side, it's probably even more. 15,000. Not that much, but he is getting work of it, and he's getting all the T1 maxes to T2, including these ones behind, I suppose. He really needs to start getting the control of the high ground here, since this raider is kind of ruining him, and you can immediately see any like reinforcing unit just pushing. Oh, I guess attack like kills the wall immediately. Well, the more you know. Crosshairs, just flying by. Additional T2 max is going straight for the third one. Does that mean that? Oh, he's finally assisting the maxes. He's not just leaving them upgrade over time. There still seems to be like an interceptor and like a flying units issue for Raider, but like Hazer does it seems to be like trying to establish like a reinforces air control. I mean, I guess that's all fine, since like he's just sending like random bombers here and there just to annoy him. Not really like a scout rush to see if there is anything new developing. He doesn't know, but we do. There's nothing new developing, just more tier 3 bricks and something. ACU under shield with a lot of T2 PGen. Not the safest place I would put ACU, but it's best what he can do at this given situation. He's getting control of the map, but like it's kind of hard to bounce back from this position, since most of it like T2 maxes from Hazer are like upgraded. I should say T1 maxes, but whatever. You never noticed that. I did. Pew 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 pew. He's getting some bouncers up. Tier 3 Sam. Mobile. Which can also shoot ground. For those who didn't know, they can shoot ground. I think all of the tier 3 Sams can shoot ground. This like a non-stop harassment out of Hazer is pretty brutal. Oh, there was an experimental build. Oh, I missed that completely, and Megalith immediately behind. The question is, does Raider know about it? If I was Raider, I was building my own experimental like a long time ago, especially with all the reclaim that I was being given to. Like this side and here. Also upside here. This experimental is gonna be brutal and it can do quite a lot of devastating damage. They don't do a lot of damage, but they can definitely target stuff. Well, it seems like he moved the position of the experimental. Though I don't know if this was scouted already or not. It doesn't seem like to be. It's not responding like in a way when you scout like a goddamn experimental unit on the ground. It does have overcharge or some energy overflow. But without anything to back this up, I don't think like there's like little in the way of stopping the experimental. He is getting some quite a good hit on his back base, which unfortunately for Herzer, he will have to respond that to that attack. But yeah, the experimental, it just seems to be way to go. He should know about it right now, like that there's an experimental in the field. Yeah, there's the army movement. That's a lot of bricks, but like he just doesn't seem to be like wanting to engage. It doesn't seem like he wants to engage. He knows about it. No second doubts about that. He's moving all of his reinforcements now. It's a bit unfortunate because like if he wasn't delaying his attacks for like this long, he would be in a much more safer position. But the circumstances are as they are. There's not a whole lot he can do about this. This is possibly even a GG. No teleport, no upgraded ACU. And even tier 3 upgrade for Herzer. Megalith like even halfway done. I don't know. By the time he kills this, like he was gonna have like a whole new set of problems to deal with. And that's gonna be very brutal for him to just kind of expunge and try to mitigate the damages that this can do. He essentially bunkered himself up, but that's not what you want to be doing at this stage of the game. Tier 3 artillery from the Herzer, mobile artillery. Quite a lot of bricks. I think it's kind of even in even numbers. And they definitely got better engagement than Herzer did. Doesn't seem to be that down with pushing with Megalith. He just kind of knows he's in a winning position, so there is no need to force it. I suppose I can agree with that. There's no need to rush it, so you can just provoke him into attacking like now and just like kill most of it like P2. I mean experimental. It is dying very fast. Oh, that's a dead Megalith. Ooh, maybe it took like a 4 units down before it went down. And he has a lot of bots now, but Megalith is now almost in play, 80% done. He can definitely just keep pushing into this and kill all of this army and send a bunch of engineers to reclaim all of this. 30,000 in reclaim. Does he have experimental of its own? Nope, not looking forward to it yet. Interceptors going after the transport, but like T2 transport is faster than most of the interceptors. It seems like he cleaned up very well, like the back base, so they're basically on the even grounds with mass income. 237 for Herzer and 230 for Raider at this given moment. And an efficiency of a long range. Oh, Megalith now in play. That's gonna be quite a pickle. Not that many unit income from Herzer. This is hitting pretty hard, and he can just backwalk it to minimize the damage on the Megalith. It's almost like an artillery piece that is shooting down all of you. Trying to squish him in a sandwich, but I think you should maybe just... I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. This is certainly like do or die engagement. The Megalith might go down very fast. He's focusing the energy here. Probably to minimize the production on the air factory. Doesn't seem to be like that much going on around the map. Megalith will go down, most certainly so, but like the reinforcements and like a leftover reclaim from this engagement, it's gonna be quite brutal if the Herzer managed to recover out of this. Doesn't look like that's gonna be the case since his AC is getting shut down. There's honestly not quite reinforcements left. Nope, yeah, that's the AC down. Explosion for the win. Raider did the impossible, I would say. Like, he definitely brought this game back, like from the depths of hell. It was certainly an uphill battle, which is, I guess, like what happened in like a grand scheme of things. His Herzer's investment in the Megalith, like that's what Raider did with all the Raiders. Like his investment was just in the bricks. So that means, well, to put it simply, he had like more units on the ground, on the field, and he was not stalling as much mass as Herzer did when building that Megalith. Also, the spider bot was like, I would say, inefficiently used. Especially at the point where they had like even amount of bricks and even amount of like, well, he had like experimental as well, which Raider did not. Could definitely push more with that and did some major damage. Also, reclaim from the Megalith definitely, well, Megalith, the Monkey Lord definitely helped, since all of this is getting quite nicely reclaimed. And this was like, this engagement here from the Herzer was also got really reclaimed, and this engagement here also got reclaimed. So in the reclaim game, like, if I can see here, oh, I maybe should have looked at before. Mass total, mass reclaim, yeah, I show 0 for both of them. Oh, that's a bummer. I should pay attention more to that earlier. Also, Raid at the back did quite a nice work. That's certainly like what didn't help to our player Herzer. Interesting game. Kind of slow paced for my taste, but interesting game nonetheless. Well, that has been from me. You guys be you, I'll be me, and see ya next time. Good games.